We're always told to chase that one big moment, that huge breakthrough. But have you ever stopped to wonder what really separates people who achieve lasting success from those who just, get a lucky break? What if the real secret is actually smaller, quieter, something you can do every single day? Well, that's exactly what we're going to get into.
So let me ask you a question right off the bat. Imagine you've got two choices. Choice A, you win the lottery. Today, bam, you're an instant millionaire. Or choice B, you get to improve yourself by just 1% every single day for the next 5 years. Now be honest, most people are going to jump at the lottery, right? I mean, who wants to wait?
But here's where it gets really interesting. Statistics show that 5 years down the road, that lottery winner, they're often broke again. But the person who chose that tiny, daily 1% improvement, they haven't just built wealth. They've built the mindset, the system that creates success over and over again. You see, the jackpot is just a moment. Daily improvement is a lifestyle.
And this gets us to a really crucial point. Our culture is completely obsessed with overnight success. It's like we think it's a package of instant noodles. Just add hot water and you're done. But real, lasting achievement, it just doesn't work that way. The secret isn't some big, dramatic, flashy event. It's actually kind of boring. It's hidden in the small things you do day in and day out. So how do we build that system for success? In this explainer, we're going to break down the 5 essential areas you absolutely have to focus on every day. We're talking about sharpening your clarity, building rock-solid discipline, communicating to really connect, mastering your emotions, and committing to always be learning.
All right, first up, pillar number 1, improve your daily clarity. Seriously, this is the foundation for everything else. It sounds so simple, right? Know what you want, but so many of us are just going through the motions. We're busy, but not productive. It's like being in a taxi, driving super fast, but you've never actually given the driver a destination. You're just burning fuel.
This quote just nails it. It suggests that if your big life goal is some fuzzy, complicated paragraph, you probably haven't thought about it enough. Real clarity is simple. It's sharp. It's something you can say in a single breath. And this is the perfect way to think about why clarity is so important. A rocking horse moves all day long, right? Back and forth, but it never actually goes anywhere. That is what being busy without a clear goal is. It's just motion. Progress, on the other hand, is moving with intention straight towards your destination.
So how do you actually build it? Well, it's a daily practice. Simple stuff. Write your goals down every morning. Look at them again every night. Constantly ask yourself, wait, why am I doing this? And you can take a page from Steve Jobs and his famous black turtleneck. He eliminated small, useless decisions about what to wear so he could save all his mental energy for what truly mattered. That's building clarity by design.
Okay, let's move on to our second pillar, which builds right on top of the first. Once you have clarity, once you know where you're going, well, you need the engine to actually get you there. And that engine, my friends, is discipline. This right here is what separates the dreamers from the doers.
Now, we get these two mixed up all the time, but they are totally different. Motivation is like a shot of sugar. It's a quick, intense boost that feels amazing, and then it fades fast. Discipline, though. Discipline is like oxygen. You don't always feel it, you're not always thinking about it, but it is what keeps you alive and moving forward day in and out.
And building it isn't about these massive acts of willpower. It's about starting small. Make tiny promises to yourself, like, I'm going to read just 2 pages today, and then keep them. Consistency is way more important than size. Set up your environment so the good choice is the easy choice. And most importantly, like Elon Musk sleeping on the factory floor, you just have to show up, especially on the days you don't feel like it. Okay, so you've got your destination and you've got the engine to get there. But how do you get other people on board? How do you open doors along the way? That brings us to pillar number 3, communicate to connect. See, you can have the greatest idea in the history of the world, but if you can't express it, it might as well not even exist. The world doesn't reward the best ideas, it rewards the ideas that are communicated the best. And this is absolutely a skill you build daily. People connect with stories, not with spreadsheets. I mean, think about Martin Luther King Jr. He didn't stand up and say, I have a strategic plan. He said, I have a dream, and it moved an entire nation. That's the power of communication. It means listening way more than you talk, speaking clearly, and practicing every single day, even if your voice shakes a little. Next up, we have to talk about the one thing that can sabotage all of our progress in an instant, our own emotions. That's why pillar number 4 is master your emotional control.
This is all about learning to respond thoughtfully instead of just reacting impulsively. It's about creating a tiny little space between a trigger and your action.
I want you to really let this sink in. A lack of emotional control has probably destroyed more careers, more businesses, and more relationships than a lack of talent ever will. When you master your emotions, what other people do, or what happens in the world, it has less and less power over your state of mind. It's a superpower. It's freedom.
And the technique for building this is so simple it's almost silly, but it's life-changing. When something makes you angry or upset, just pause. Take a breath. Count to 10. That tiny little gap you just created, that's where wisdom lives. It's what allowed Thomas Edison to try 1,000 times without smashing his lab in frustration. This skill saves jobs, friendships, and marriages every single day.
And that brings us to our fifth and final pillar, the one that really ties everything together. Always be learning. Let's be real, the world is changing faster than ever. Think of your mind like software. If you're not running daily updates, you are becoming obsolete. It's not the strongest who survive, it's the ones who can adapt.
Just think about companies like Kodak or Blockbuster. They were absolute giants, but they got rigid. They refused to adapt, they stopped learning, and poof, they're gone. The goal is to be like bamboo, strong enough to stand tall, but flexible enough to bend with the winds of change without breaking. That's the unstoppable power of continuous learning.
So let's bring it all home. These 5 pillars, they all work together as a system. Clarity gives you your destination. Discipline keeps you walking down the path. Communication opens all the doors along the way. Emotional control makes sure you don't burn the whole house down in one moment of frustration. And learning allows you to adapt and grow during the entire journey.
In the end, success is not one giant leap. It's thousands of tiny, consistent steps taken in the right direction. It's not about changing your entire life overnight. It's about making 5 small improvements every single day. So the only real question left to ask is, what's your first step going to be today?